Have you been asking yourself how you're going to retire? If inflation keeps going up the rate it's going up, and you were already borderline questionable whether you were going to be able to retire, are you asking yourselves, what can I do now that's different than what I was doing before? Have maybe you asked yourselves how you can get your retirement into something other than a mutual fund that just gives out in stocks and bonds? All of these questions are necessary questions to ask. But what many folks don't realize is how simple and easy the answers are. The reason many folks don't know the answer to this is because the only people putting out education, for the most part, on national television and radio is the banks. When you have a bank pushing their agenda, pushing their products, and encouraging you to only do business with them, it allows them to continue to stay in business. You see, as long as you have your money in a bank is the only one that's going to make money because they're going to loan out your money and make that interest. Or if you're using them for your retirement accounts, someone like Edward Jones or any of them, they make all their fees. That's how they make money. That's just the way it is, right? And that's a choice that we make when we choose to use those institutions. What many of you may not be aware of is that you can actually invest in real estate through your Coverdale education accounts, through your health HSA accounts. Some of you have flex spending accounts that you can invest with as well. And all of these accounts, along with self-directed IRA accounts, self-directed solo 401k accounts, can all be invested in things like oil and gas, mineral rights, real estate, all of which you would be the one in control of, as opposed to the stock market that is all very subjective. So many folks look at me and they're like, well, Bethany, I can't invest my retirement accounts. I don't even know how to do it. I wouldn't know the first step on how to do it. And that's the amazing part, that we have been working so hard to bring everyday education, completely free, to folks who want to learn and want to know how to hedge up their retirement accounts and to provide more financial securities for their family. So we do this through various streams, right? We have our YouTube channel, we have our blogs, we do in-person speaking events, we're on podcasts, we are doing as much as we can to get the word out there. We want you to have a robust retirement account. We want you to have the freedom of time, if that's what you choose, because you have passive income coming in. We want you to have the opportunity to make choices based on what you want and need, as opposed to what somebody else wants and needs for you to do. So that's why we're so active and so almost aggressive about trying to get this information out there. We want you to be a success financially and emotionally. Do you know that the federal government finally admitted that by having moms having to work as well as dads outside the home, and dads having to work longer and sometimes two jobs to provide, that it is creating a huge deficit in the family structure as a whole, and it is absolutely destroying the young people, that next generation. So if we could give you back your time, for instance, if we were able to have one of you come home from work because you have enough passive income coming in from your investments that they don't need to work outside the home and they're able to stay home, whether that's mom or dad, doesn't matter. Would that alleviate stress in your life? Would that give you a different choice that you might make? Because it's no longer necessarily based on finance, it's instead based on what you want to do and what you feel is best for your family. Many times, the children have different things like autism and educational needs and things, and they need a parent to be more actively involved in that education and coming alongside those school teachers. But if they're working full time, how can they make that happen? Very few jobs are flexible like that. Now, granted, we've got a lot more jobs that are flexible, but not to the extent that they really need to be if you have a child of special needs or something of that nature. So we're just trying to give you options. And to do that, we're trying to help you understand that your retirement plan is just that. It is your plan. And for you to make a good and wise one, you need to have all the facts. You need to have all the options that are out there. You need to know your own risk tolerance and risk level so that when you do, you know exactly how much, when, how soon all of it's going to happen and what you need to do. Some folks are desperately working extra hard, working 2 jobs like the last 5 years of their retirement because they want to make sure that they retire by a certain age. Other folks are choosing to pull their retirement because they're 100% vested with their current employer. They pull it out of their retirement account, they roll it over into a self-directed account, and then they turn around and invest that into things like real estate, oil and gas, mineral rights, that allows them to gain at a much faster rate of growth, and it's hedged against the protections that always happens with the risks of the stock market. So in doing so, this allows them the opportunity to make a different choice. So what does the Coverdale education account, what does a HSA, what does a FSA, so HSA health savings account, FHA flex spending account, what does a self-directed IRA, what does a solo 401k, what do they all have in common? Well, for those of you who didn't guess it, they all can invest in real estate, in oil and gas, in mineral rights, and they don't have to stay in the stock market or the bond market. They're able to be utilized in a different way. And the benefit of that is you can grow at a much faster rate. Real estate is one of those tools that exponentially has created the most millionaires and billionaires. And you've heard it forever. If you want to be a millionaire or you need to retire, you need to have $1 million in that account. So in your mind, how am I going to be a millionaire? How does that work? Well, it works through compounding. So the best way to do that is through real estate, and many millionaires know that. Hence the reason they're already there. So if you have no idea how or what to do with your retirement account or what options you have, click on the link below and schedule a time. We'd love to set up a time where we could talk through you, give you some options, and let you know exactly what your options are, and then give you some resources where you can reach out and ask even more questions with trained professionals that can be very specific about your situation, but also give you the best information to make the best decision for your family in whatever capacity that means, whether that's pulling it out and reinvesting it, whether it's simply investing it in a different way. Many folks don't even realize that their 401ks that they currently have, you can actually invest those right now. Most folks don't realize that. They just assume Fidelity or Charles Schwab or whoever is managing it is the only person that gets to do that. And so they have no idea that that clause is in there. So it's an opportunity for you, and we would love to give you this opportunity. So click on the link below and schedule a time where we could talk through with you retirement options, what you have, and see completely free of charge if there's anything that we can do to help you get started in real estate investing with passive income and setting aside money not only for your retirement, but potentially for right now, for maybe those of you who are wanting to create a second income so that you can bring one of those parents home. Whatever it is, we'd love to sit down and talk with you. So click on the link below.